This build is certainly up there as one of the best single target damage setups. For anyone that enjoys putting up big numbers and deleting bosses, I highly recommend putting this one together. GetBuck here, and today let's go over my endgame fast gunner Memento build. Kicking it off, as always, with our primary weapon, and that will be the Memento R500 pistol. Memento has a 36% chance to trigger fast gunner on hit. That chance doubles with a weak spot hit. When fast gunner is triggered, one bullet will be reloaded to your magazine. Each shot has a 40% chance to consume one more bullet, and when extra bullets are consumed, you gain plus 80% to attack. We will be modding Memento with Shooting Blitz Precision. Shooting Blitz grants plus 4 seconds to fast gunner's duration. When fast gunner is active, gain 15% to weapon damage. If you ask me, the extra 4 seconds to fast gunner is needed as it can go away very quickly without this mod. Your accessory setup for Memento will be the short suppressor muzzle, compact reflex sight, and integrated laser sight. Now that your main weapon is set up, let's go over the key armor piece, and that is going to be the Oasis Mask. Oasis Mask grants plus 10 to max fast gunner stacks. Gain 1% attack per stack. At full stacks, this will give you plus 10% to your overall attack, leading you to squeeze out more damage. Moving on to our Gearset setup, and we will be starting with 3 pieces of the Renegade Gearset. 3 pieces of Renegade grants plus 15% to reload speed, plus 10% to weak spot damage, and 3 pieces hitting the same enemy consecutively grants 1 stack of Archer's Focus, increasing weak spot damage by 4% up to 10 stacks. Archer's Focus stacks are halved when the target is changed. This is not an ad clear build though, it is a boss build, so you won't have to worry much about that. We will be pairing our 3 pieces of Renegade Gearset with 2 pieces of the Agent Gearset for 10% more weak spot damage from the 2-piece bonus. You could also go with 1-piece Bastille for more weapon damage when your health is above 70%, and 1-piece Lone Wolf for magazine size, but I found 2 Agent to be more consistent damage-wise. Now that we have our armor picked out, it is time to mod it, starting with our helmet mod, and that will be Precise Strike Precision. Hitting a weak spot grants 12% weak spot damage for 3 seconds. The effect can stack up to 3 times. Your mask mod will be Gunslinger Precision when in fast gunner state, plus 30% to weak spot damage. The gloves mod will be Weak Spot Damage Boost Precision, which grants a flat boost of 25% weak spot damage. Your pants mod will be Covered Advanced Precision, taking no damage for 4 seconds, grants 20% to melee, status, and weapon damage for 30 seconds. Moving on to the shoes mod will be 3 Strikes Precision for the first 3 hits after reloading, gain 50% to weak spot damage. And lastly, your chest mod will be the Weak Spot Damage Boost Precision Blue chest mod for an additional 15% to weak spot damage. All of your mods will be the precision variant so that your top substat will always be for extra weak spot damage. Other substats to go for would be weapon damage, damage to great ones, magazine capacity, reload speed, and damage to elites. Now that all of our gear is set up and modded, let's go over some items that help squeeze out more DPS like your secondary weapon, melee weapon, food buffs, deviant choices, and ammo options. I will place the Cradle Setup in the description below as new Cradle options are constantly added and changed with new seasons. Our secondary weapon will be one that can apply the Bullseye effect, and your best options depending on playstyle will be Doombringer for those that like to be directly under the boss, and Bingo or Wildfire for more ranged players. We will be using a weapon that applies the Bullseye effect so that the boss becomes more vulnerable, causing it to take more damage, resulting in you dealing damage quicker. You will want to mod whichever Bullseye weapon you choose. With Vulnerability Amplifier, the Bullseye effect adds 8% vulnerability. Our melee weapon for this setup will be the Long Axe melee weapon so that you can proc Fortress Warfare for those that like to cheese max DPS. I will say this weapon rotation is not needed and sometimes can shorten your DPS window a lot, causing you to do less damage, but if you have the strat down, certainly toss this into the build. For your food buff, you can go with Crumbly Bread for a 25% increase to all weapon damage. Speaking of weapon damage, if you want to squeeze out even more, your best deviant option for this build will be the Lone Wolf's Whisper Deviant. You can also use one of the butterflies for more weak spot damage, but I found that raw weapon damage just stacked up better once you're at a certain weak spot damage percentage. When I'm at full stacks, I am sitting at 323.5% weak spot damage with this build. To me, that's enough, and you can change your focus on weapon damage after that. Your best ammo option for this build will be the Tungsten AP pistol ammo made with Platinum Crystal to increase damage by 25% while in Fast Gunner or Fortress Warfare state. This, however, can get expensive, and you can just run normal Tungsten AP pistol ammo. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a heart, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. See you next time.